What I bring in my park bag changes throughout the seasons. Also, my park bag itself changes as well. Let's get into all the details. Plus, I'm going to give you some pointers about going through security before you head into the parks. You ready? Let's go. I categorize my park bag into 4 different areas: the essentials, the personals, the helpers, and the extras. The essentials and the personals in my park bag are the core of my park bag, and they rarely ever change. So first is a portable charger. Now I actually bring 2 with me just in case. I do also bring my block as well to be able to plug in. 1,000 things are being done on your phone throughout the day while you're in the parks. You are taking pictures and videos. You are doing mobile order. You're doing mobile checkout. You're using it for Genie Plus. You are keeping yourself busy while you're in line. You're looking at wait times. So your battery life is going to go out by midday if you are using your phone that often throughout the entire day. The reason that I bring both types with me to be able to recharge my phone is, number one, for the portable chargers, for me to be able to charge on the go. I do bring my block with me because there are some places within the parks while you're taking a rest that you can actually plug in your phone and not using the juice from your portable chargers. Also, at quick service locations, when you're picking your place of where you want to sit, you can also find plugs up against the wall, and that is the main determination of where I sit in a quick service location, is if I can find a plug up against a wall. Again, I do this so that I don't have to take all of the juice from my portable chargers, and as I am sitting down, I will plug in and charge my phone. Next up are going to be wipes. I do both disinfectant wipes and hand sanitizing wipes as well. The disinfectant wipes will come in handy whenever you are trying to snag a table behind another family at a quick service location. Sometimes, especially during peak season, it can be hard to find a place to sit, and cast members can't come in quick enough whenever one family is getting up and you're trying to swoop in to be able to clean off that table. And so I'll be able to just kind of wipe that down real quick before I sit down and eat. And then antibacterial wipes I will bring with me just in case I touch something sticky from whenever a child touched something, or myself if I'm eating an ice cream bar or anything that melts on me. I just have something to disinfect my hands and get the stickiness off. Since Florida is known as the Sunshine State, sunglasses are an absolute staple pretty much 99% of the trips that I take throughout the year. Sunglasses can help tremendously block that headache that you can possibly get midday if you do not have that sun protection on your eyes. So sunglasses are an absolute must. Lastly, in the essentials is going to be hand sanitizer. Just in the times that we live in, we absolutely have to have hand sanitizer with us at all times. Sometimes it'll just be in a bottle in my park bag. Other times I will make it cute if I am trying to dress up a park bag that I have with theming, and I'll have that just hooked on my bag as well. So either way. For the personal side of things, of course, sunscreen is an absolute staple. Since Florida is the Sunshine State, I will always have a very small bottle with me at all times. Make sure that you are getting the tops of your ears, make sure that you are getting the back of your neck, and make sure that you are hitting the top of your feet if you have any kind of sandals on. Everything else self-explanatory. Next up is going to be some kind of deodorant or body spray. Depending on which time of the year it is that I'm there will depend on which one that I have. The majority of the time though, it is an extra deodorant, just a small little travel size deodorant stick that comes with me. I also have an anti-inflammatory foot spray and or muscle rub in travel packets with me. The anti-inflammatory spray that I use is called Buy Still Standing. This helps with inflammation, and whenever like your feet are swelling during the summer, all you have to do is just spray it on there, and it's all natural, which is one of the things that I love about it. And it instantly is cooling, has a little menthol feel to it, and it literally just like deflates your feet, making everything feel so much better, especially when you're retaining a whole lot of water when you're walking a lot during the summer. I will also have travel muscle rub packets with me, just depending on if my knees are hurting, if my shins are hurting, if my back is hurting, because you know I'm no spring chicken these days and I am in the parks for quite a while and I walk a lot whenever I'm on my trips. Make sure you are pushing that subscribe button so you are ready for the next video coming out about my updated how to save your feet and your body on your trips. Not only can Walt Disney World be hard on your feet and your body, but it also can be very overstimulating, which can lead to headaches. So I do always have some kind of pain reliever on me as well. It is also very easy to overindulge whenever you're on a Walt Disney World resort trip, plus adding in rides. Sometimes it just doesn't always mix, so I do always have some kind of antacid with me or Tums. And the last two things in the personal section is going to be Band-Aids. I always have Band-Aids with me. It may just be like 4 Band-Aids just in case, because I'm definitely getting better about the kind of shoes that I wear, so I don't have issues anymore. But just in case, bring Band-Aids. And then the last thing are going to be tissues, especially if you are traveling in the spring months. Springtime is no joke, especially if you're going to Epcot, you're going to the Flower and Garden Festival. Everything is blooming and it's just like hay fever season like no other. The next section is going to be all of the helpers, and these are the things that change the most depending on the season, who I'm with, and how long I'm going to be in the parks. So first up are going to be Ziploc bags. I always have multiple sizes of Ziploc bags. These things can hold treats in there that you don't finish. I do love to collect like little stickers, pamphlets, or things like that because I like to have like memorabilia that I bring back. So this helps it not get destroyed in my backpack. If I need to put my phone in there, if I'm going on a wet ride, if it's about to storm outside, I will have everything in there that is electronic so that it does not get messed up. And then also if it does rain and I have wet clothes, wet shoes, wet socks, or anything like that, I have a bag to be able to put all of that in. Next on the list is going to be a hand towel. Now I am over the top and I do love to have my hand towels themed to according to the time of the year that I am going. But I do use these, especially during the rainy season is really whenever I pull these out. So you can wipe yourself off after a wet ride. You can use it as a layer to sit on after a rainstorm has happened if you're waiting for a parade or a show. If you're riding the Skyliner, sometimes the Skyliner can get wet after a rain and you can wipe down the seats in there to be able to sit down and not get your bottom wet, and then just in general dry off after a wet ride or if you get caught in a rain shower. So just having a hand towel just can kind of make you feel a little bit better. Some kind of rain gear is always in my park bag, whether it be an umbrella or a poncho, because it will rain at least once on your Walt Disney World vacation, no matter what time of the year it is. So again, my preferred thing is an umbrella. Now, not only does this help with the rain, but it can also help with the heat as well. Having an umbrella keeps the sun rays off of you whenever you're standing in line, when you're walking through the park, when you're waiting for a show or a parade or anything like that. So I do always have an umbrella in my bag, pretty much no matter what. But I do also bring a poncho with me as well, just a cheap one to put in my bag at the bottom. And if you want any information on how to deal with the heat or how to deal with the rain on your upcoming trip, make sure that you check out my playlist down below. It is the Know Before You Go Planning Prep. It has all the videos that you need to be researching out leading up to your trip. And then speaking of the heat, I always have multiple cooling devices with me as well. So first up, I will have some kind of hook-on fan, and for me it's a battery operated fan, and what this can do is this can hook on my belt or my pants and it can be underneath my shirt, giving me cool air that way. My preferred thing to deal with the heat though is going to be a cooling towel, and I love the Frog Togs because of the sponge-like material. I just love how it lays and it just feels so good on my shoulders and it's just nice and cooling. I also have a handheld fan as well, and this really helps. While if I have the battery operated fan underneath my clothes, then I have the handheld one to be able to cool off my face if we're in line and we're just in a place where the airflow is just not as good, because sometimes you can find that depending on the ride that you're in line for. And then I do also like to have some kind of misting fan with me as well. So at first I would bring the Disney ones with me that I have had for a while, but they are a little bit big and bulky just for me personally. So I did opt to go ahead and get something that is like a 2-in-1, and that is the O2 Cool Misting Fan water bottle, which brings me into my next thing is a water bottle. So I either have an insulated water bottle, which will keep things cool all day long, that I can have ice in there and it'll keep it cold, or I'll have the O2 Cool Misting water bottle with me as well. That particular one does not keep anything cold all day long, but I did find that I can add 2 glasses of ice cold water to it, and those are free, by the way, at quick service locations. and I will always have ice cold water on me throughout the day. So my water bottle does change throughout the seasons. And then the last category are going to be all the extras that you bring with me. Now this is going to vary between family, but for me personally, it'll be like ears. Whenever I wear ears in the park, I can't usually have them on all day because they really start to hurt my head. So I will put those in my park bag, have a Ziploc bag that I'll put them in, or their own actual plastic bag that they go in. Also, a popcorn bucket is something that I usually always have with me, and I will hook this to my backpack and have that hanging on the outside of the bag. Other extra things that you have with you are going to be like lanyards or pins. I don't usually wear my lanyard on me. If I have it, it's usually in my park bag. It just feels confining whenever I have that on. Sometimes I'll bring snacks from home that you can't just easily find in the parks. Sometimes you just need a bag of chips, and those really are not just anywhere in the parks, or just something salty like that besides popcorn. I'll also bring like little packets with me, whether it be like for cold coffee, for lemonade to add to the water. Liquid IV is an extra hydrating packet that I've been loving lately and bringing with me really during the hot months. So those are just a few of the extra things that you can throw in your bag to help throughout the day and also to save money. When it comes to my park bag, it really kind of depends on a lot of variables, but for the most part, I am a backpack kind of girl. And I am beginning to have requirements for my backpack. However, I will make exceptions if I find something that's vintage, because I am really a vintage girl. But for the most part, it has to be a large backpack. It has to have thick straps, and it also has to have 2 side pockets so that I can fit in my water bottle and or umbrella so that I can reach for it quickly. Again, I do have like vintage bags that I have. I like to put my flare into my bags. However, I'm not a lounge fly girl. For me personally, they're just not big enough, and I just don't like the way that they fit. But I do like to have really interesting kind of bags. I also like to have just like a plain backpack and then decorate it up with either like pins that I have, patches that I have. So I like to have a lot of fun with my bags. And then my backpack park bag has all of my non-important stuff with me. So all of my important stuff goes in a crossbody bag that I will wear in the parks, whether it be like that, or something that is just cute and a purse like that. So what's gonna go in there is gonna be my portable chargers, my cord, and my plug-in charger. It's also going to have my wallet, and that has all of my credit and debit cards, my ID, my annual pass, and any Disney gift cards that I have. So for the most part, that is what just goes in my crossbody, are the absolute essentials that I have on me at all times. Now, if I'm only going to be in the park for a short amount of time, like if I'm taking breaks and going back to the resort or things like that, and I don't need like a full backpack, then I will absolutely do some like cutesy bags that I have that can hold a lot. But you know, it just kind of depends on what I'm feeling that day. I will say though that my go-to is the Stony Clover Jumbo Classic bag. This puppy can hold a whole lot, and I can jazz it up. Like I can put like little characters like right here. I can put like pins right here. So you know, I can just kind of decorate it up however I want to, but for the most part, this is my go-to. But with every trip that I take, I do love to test out new things, new kind of bags. So make sure that you're following me on Instagram, as I'm always in my stories sharing like the in the real moments whenever I am trying something new. And in case you're wondering where you put your bags in your backpack whenever you're on rides, for the most part, everything can just go at your feet. You can put it on the ground and then loop your legs through each of the straps, and they will stay put no matter what. Same thing with the crossbody. Any like things that need to come down or bars that need to come down, my crossbody can move out of the way easily, or just like be over that, and it'll be fine. The only ride right now that absolutely your bag has to go in a locker is going to be on Tron. So if you have anything more than a cell phone or glasses, that is going to have to go in a locker before you can get on the ride. And then also, if you are worried about your stuff getting wet in Disney's Animal Kingdom on Cali River Rapids, they do have lockers right next to that ride, and you can put your stuff in a locker for free for up to 2 hours, just in case you don't want anything in your bag that's really valuable to get wet. As you are beginning to get all of the things together that you're going to put in your park bag, let's talk about what it's going to be like going through security. So there are a few things that you need to take out of your park bag and have in your hands as you are walking through security, so you don't have to get stopped at bag check. And bag check is like a death wish whenever you are trying to rope drop or get somewhere very quickly, because sometimes that can take up to 10 to 20 minutes depending on how long the line is and whenever you are entering a park. For the average guest that is traveling to Walt Disney World and going through security, a water bottle. If you are bringing a stainless steel water bottle, this is something that you need to have out of your park bag and in your hands as you are going through the metal detectors. Next up is going to be a sunglass case that has any kind of hinge or an engagement ring case, whichever. Now for me personally, I'm very rough with my bags wherever they get set down or that kind of thing. So I do have a hard sunglass case because I have smushed many sunglasses on my trips. So I do have to have this out. I also have to open it while I'm going through security so that they can see inside of the case as well. Any kind of block chargers that you have for your phone, these also need to be taken out and put in your hands and held in front of you as you are going through the metal detectors. And then lastly is going to be an umbrella. These two need to be held out in your hands. So for all the things that I just mentioned for the average guest, what's going to happen is whenever you walk up to any of the 4 parks, there's going to be a security guard out there that has a microphone there, and they're going to be telling you all the things that you need to be taken out. What you need to do to go through security so you don't get stopped at bag check is take everything out that I told you, and you're going to hold it out in front of you like this, not like this, like this, and you're going to walk straight through the security metal detectors. So all of this is going to set off the metal detector, and if the cast member security guard on the other side can pinpoint that everything is in your hand, then you're going to be able to be waved through, and you don't have to be stopped at bag check to go through all of the pockets and all of the little things that you have in your park bag. There are other random things that are going to set off the alarm as well. So like if you have a cutesy bag, like this one for me, this bag, every single time sets off the alarm because of all the embellishments that are on it. If you have these kind of pins, if they're on your person, you're fine. They're going to be able to see it and you can walk through. But if you happen to take them off and put them in the bottom of your bag, these are going to set off the metal detectors as well. If you have Disney Park pins, like the collector's pins, if you have them in a cluster, like all together, somewhere on your bag, in your bag, or on you, it is also going to set off the metal detector. So just be ready for that if you do have like a lot of pins on you. So they are going to have to go through everything and then do the wand thing on you as well. Traveling and planning a Walt Disney World Resort vacation has so many different layers to it. I hope this gave you all the information that you were looking for, and if it did, please hit that like button and also consider subscribing as I take you all around the Walt Disney World Resort with reviews, tips, planning, and just everything in between. I'm Terry with Creating the Magic. Have a magical day.